What is good, everybody? It's your boy Slice. Welcome to a Slice of Anime, man. And I told you, I'm not bluffing no more, bro. We back locked in, and actually the official release of Boruto Chapter 23 gave your boy so much content, so many more parallels to string from. Boy, we're going to dive into all that. But before we dive into today's video, family, do your boy Slice a solid if you're new to the channel. Feel free to check out my other videos. If you like the video, drop a comment, share any of my other videos and or this video. Anyway though, man, drop me a comment, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for the noties. Do anything you can do to help support the channel, man. It is much appreciated. We're gonna dive into today's video, man. Let's get it. All right, so the moment we've all been waiting for. Me to come out of retirement from my theories. I'm not seriously retired, it's been bluffing, man. But like I said, Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 23, we saw a lot of things. We saw a lot of important things for a lot of future parallels, a lot of future setups. But then we also have to keep in mind, these things might not necessarily happen. It's just a part of prescience, Kashi Koji's Shinju ability. Now, before we really dig deep into what you saw, let's talk about the ability for a little bit. All right, so boom, prescience, also known as 10 directions. It actually allows Kashi Koji to see multiple possible futures. It's not just about predicting, but it also influences and potentially changes outcomes of the future based on these visions. But keep in mind, as powerful as this jutsu is, it does have its drawback and limitations. Prescience does not offer absolute knowledge. It does not offer a guaranteed certain outcome of a future timeline. As we saw from Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 23, Kashi Koji was never able to foresee in any of his future timelines Kawaki coming out to help Boruto and actually preventing that worst timeline from happening. He even stated that himself. Another example of potential outcomes that were not to be. Remember, there was a future timeline where Ishiki actually won. Ishiki actually defeated Naruto, then he defeated Boruto, and then he defeated Kawaki. So once again, that's just another reason to show it's not all-knowing, but it is very powerful if used correctly and if not abused. And that is why Kashi Koji was so specific about Boruto not making too many people, or really anyone else, a singularity of fate. Because once you do that, too many people now withhold the power to change future or possible timelines in their own favor or in favors that cannot be foreseen, therefore now nerfing the power of prescience and or 10 paths. So now that we explain prescience / 10 paths to you all, let's go ahead and dive into what exactly, quote unquote, the update that Kashi Koji got last chapter, and then I'll give you all my branches off the parallels that I was able to see and or come up with. But first things first, let's cover the one I actually missed. So we can see in Kashi Koji's Kodak, that's what I'm going to call this little film highlight reel thingy. I'm just going to call it Kashi Koji's Kodak. I like that. So in the first reel, we actually see Juror retreating. Now it's very hard to see. It almost looks as if he has both eyes in this one, but he appears to be bleeding from the mouth and he's retreating into a tree, most likely going back to the Shinju hideout. That's good, man. That's a possibility. And I'm not going to lie, I don't think Kawaki and Juror, I don't think they're going to have a conclusive victor in this chapter or the next chapter. This fight alone, I think it was just to build hype, allowing us to see full power Kawaki against what would be now considered a full power Juror. Because during the last chapter, we have to keep in mind that Boruto was actually nowhere near full power, yet he was still holding his own against Juror, although barely. So, you know, for your power scalers out there, oh, Kawaki's so much stronger than base Boruto, or base Boruto is still stronger than limited remove Kawaki. We don't know yet, bro. Relax. But yeah, that I could see that one actually coming true. And remember, some of these panels actually have already happened. Most of them have yet to happen, but it's at least about like 3 of these that have already happened. Now, one of these that have not happened yet, there's actually a reel of Inoji who appears to be in Orochimaru's hideout. That one is very interesting. His eyes are closed and it's looking like he's using Ino's jutsu, the mind transfer sensory jutsu. I don't know, maybe they're looking for Gaara. I'm not too sure what he could be using that for. Now, it does make sense because remember, currently Konohamaru, Mitsuki, and Delta all just rendezvoused at the checkpoint, meaning that Araya and Yodo were on their way to Shinki. Although Yodo was no longer with us, they're pretty much in the process of turning Shinki back to normal. So what I think is that Inoji is in Orochimaru's hideout and he's using that jutsu to try to find Gaara. Now, that's just a possibility. That's just my thoughts for you, though. I do hope further in the chapters, we really get to see what's going on with Orochimaru, Kakashi, and the hideouts. Now, I don't really know what's going on with Kakashi and Boruto. I've heard so many different theories. I heard that he won't be in it at all. I've heard that he will have a key crucial point, but I don't know. I just don't know, man. But I like the not knowing of this because it just continues to add suspense. I mean, just like Boruto using the purple lightning, it's up in the air. Sasuke could have taught him, or maybe it was Kakashi in the shadows. Who knows, bro? In the next reel, we see Hidari, and he's reaching towards what seems to be Sarda's left Mangekyo Sharingan, or right. I can't tell. It's kind of backwards. But that frame specifically is very close to the pose that Itachi used to do to Sasuke all the time. In fact, it really resembles the pose that Itachi did when he gave Sasuke his Sharingan before he passed. Very interesting, especially if you are one of the believers in my theory that Hidari is really Sasuke. Not just a clone of Sasuke, no. When Boruto destroyed Hidari with the full power Rasengan Uzuhiko, they were able to restore Hidari's soul thorn and revive him. However, he's been acting very different lately. He's been real standoffish. He hasn't been saying anything. He's been very observant. And he's really showing his Sasuke mannerisms, while the rest of the Shinju don't really act like any of their people that they're based off of. Now, you might think this is a reach, but I don't know, it's a possibility. And I gotta throw it out there because I've been hitting on the theories, but I don't have much proof. So I gotta throw this out there just in case it does happen. I will finally have a reference point to say, yo, I told you so. I told you. Yo, this frame right here, I believe the victor of the battle will be Sarda, hands down. But that pose, what if, and just what if, Hidari will give Sarda a Rinnegan before he passes and turns back into Sasuke? That would be crazy. Imagine Sarda's Mangekyo Sharingan, which is activated in this panel, by the way, along with the Rinnegan. Now, obviously, we know the Rinnegan, the Rinne Sharingan combo, we know it had an ample effect on Sasuke as far as chakra usage. But I feel like Sarda may be able to handle it. But I don't want to get too deep into that. I'll just pitch the idea out. And if it seems to be true, we can analyze it further later on. Now, there are two panels that already happened, seemingly. One is guaranteed it already happened. The other one, I kind of feel as if that might not be it. That might not be what we think it is. So we have one panel with Juror holding his eye. Obviously, that's going to be directly after Kawaki just stabbed his eye out. I don't even think that's a play on anything. I think that just, that's just there. Just to show us that prescience can also show us what's already happened and what's yet to happen. There's another one with Boruto stretched out on the floor. Now that does look like a panel that we've literally just saw this chapter. But who knows? I feel as if it's a trick. I could be overstepping, I might be overlooking it. But I feel as though that panel is actually yet to come. Let me know what you think about that one specifically or any of these panels. But we're still going to continue to dive into it because we have a couple more. So I actually saved the last two for a reason. I had to save the best for last. I'm going to save the absolute best for last. A lot more people would be hype about this one, so I'll put this one out first. But I'm more hype about the second one. we do see a reel of Heawari. But I don't know if that's a serious look or that's a concerned look. But most likely, some way, somehow, I believe this will be after Juror has disappeared and retreated from the fight. Heawari will get word that Boruto has been severely injured due to his battle with Juror. And I think she might pull up and genuinely be concerned for Boruto. Because at this point during the story, we see that almost everyone has been somewhat broken out of omnipotence, at least to the point to where they're not questioning why Boruto is helping them and or why they are helping Boruto in return. They're kind of just going along with the flow. Now, if you remember anything about omnipotence, there's two major things. Number one, no matter how close you get to breaking it, the reason why omnipotence is because your memories and your feelings will always be reverted back to how they once originally were when omnipotence hit. So it may look like a good thing right now, but I promise you, probably after the Juror fight, most people's feelings are going to revert back to how they were as soon as omnipotence hit. No one will no longer like Boruto. Everyone will once again view him as a traitor, and everything he's done will just be swept under the rug. That's the sad part about the fate of the young lord and the two blue Vortex. My other theory for Heawari's shocked face, she could just have heard of the results of the battles and saw that Kawaki and Boruto actually worked together and heard of Boruto's state and was concerned. But I believe she might actually be with Team 10. I think that's the right team name. I just woke up, so I apologize if I'm wrong. But I believe she might be with Shikadai, Inojin, and Chocho. You know, she's pretty much a part of that team now. And she might actually be involved in the hunt for Gaara. I smile at the theory with that. Now I saved the absolute best panel for last because I have another theory video. This is the one that I've been bluffing on. But I've been bluffing on this one because I've just been telling myself I don't have enough research. I don't have enough information to really dive into this as deep as I can. But you know what? I haven't looked. Therefore, after this video, I'm going to reach even deeper in my bag and I'm going to find information to make this video because I really want to. And I'm telling you, it's fire. And I know for a fact I'm cooking. I'm always cooking, just like I'm always good looking. You figured tell me? We end up with the last panel being a frame of Mamushi. Now, if you're not too familiar or you don't remember who Mamushi is, I don't blame you. And I promise you, it's for a reason. And it has nothing to do with omnipotence. Mamushi is actually Bug Shinju. And I know for a fact there's a reason that he's been the last Shinju to do anything fight-wise. He had his one moment where Ada was using her Senrigan and he was able to watch Ada. And in that realm that she's in while she uses her Senrigan where she's supposed to be untouchable, he was right there. Ada stated that she would keep her Senrigan use to an absolute minimum just because of how creeped out she was from that ability. So my theory is that Mamushi will look towards Ada when he gets word that Kawaki unexpectedly got power-upped, entered the fight, and put the smackdown on Juror. Juror had no idea about the power boost that Kawaki got. So I believe that the Shinju will try to two birds, one stone this situation. Not only will they try to figure out if Ada is in fact helping Boruto, they may also be able to string together that there are actually multiple people helping Boruto. That's gonna be crazy. And what's even more crazy is I actually found one last little panel that ties into all of this and almost confirms my theory 1000%. And we might get what we finally been looking forward to see, and that is Daemon. We might be able to see Daemon. We might be able to see him in action. There is a frame of his hair, and it's very hard to see. And it's one of those little Easter eggs. Now, granted, it may or may not happen, but you know, I got gears, man. And I've been staring at that prescience page for a while, and I was able to see this. I don't believe they would have just thrown Mamushi in here alone for no reason. Daemon would not be in here alone for no reason. They're the smallest panels and cut off like that, and it's intentional. We may get a Daemon and Mamushi fight. Now, Daemon is supposed to be the strongest person in Boruto, but just like we said, remember when Koji, Ada, and Daemon were talking? Koji stated that even Daemon cannot beat Juror. So some way, somehow, his powers do have a weakness, and the Ten Tails and or the Shinju may be able to exploit it. Now that's a fight I'm looking forward to, man. And there's so many things, so many parallels I'm looking forward to see. But I'm really looking forward to seeing your guys' thoughts, opinions, and theories down below in the comments. So go ahead and drop those for me. Do me a favor, if you liked the video, like the video. Hit the subscribe button for more theory videos and Boruto coverage, man. And don't worry, when we hit our goal of 100 subscribers, I'll branch off and start doing other animes. I got some Hunter x Hunter ideas that I would love to bring to the channel and more. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Ring the bell for the noties so you can stay posted. And share the video for me, man. It has been a slice of anime. It's been your boy Slice. And I'm signing out, man. Peace.